The African Union Commission has commended the Rwandan government for sending troops and the police to Mozambique to jointly work with the country's armed forces in peacekeeping and counterinsurgency in its northern province of Cabo Delgado. As Ethan Tashobia reports, the joint force will work closely with Mozambique Armed Defense Forces and forces from the Southern African Development Community in designated sectors of responsibility.
This Saturday afternoon, the second group of about 600 Rwandan police and soldiers left for Cabo Delgado in the northern part of Mozambique to reinforce security and crack down on terrorist groups that have destabilized the area. The deployment of the Rwandan forces began on Friday, and the troops will be sent in several dispatches, according to the RDF spokesperson, Colonel Ronald Rwanda. He says the work of the Rwandan armed forces in Mozambique will include combat operations where necessary.
This
operation is based on our bilateral relation with the government of Mozambique. Besides, laws permit us to engage in security operations anywhere there is need to reinforce security as long as we are called upon. The work of the Rwanda contingent will be to support efforts to restore Mozambican state authority by conducting combat security operations if necessary, as well as stabilizing and security sector reform.
Gufatanya n'inzego z'igisirikare kubaka ubushobozi nabyo biri mu kazi kacu.
Beginning in October 2017, armed extremists linked to the Islamic State of Iraq and Levant, ISIL, launched an insurgency on Cabo Delgado region of Mozambique. The group sometimes claims to be linked to Al-Shabaab, but this has not been verified. The fact that the Cabo Delgado province has been greatly destabilized by terrorism is one of the reasons Rwanda has deployed its armed forces and police to protect civilians, according to Rwanda National Police spokesperson CP John Bosco Kabera.
The police force has been deployed to fight terrorism in collaboration with the Mozambican police. The second thing is to protect civilians and give them a sense of security and stability. That's the main mandate of the police.
Rwanda's deployment of troops to reinforce security in Mozambique has been hailed by many as a true spirit of Pan-Africanism. Earlier this Saturday, the chairperson of the African Union Commission, Musa Faki Mahamat, took on Twitter to express his support for the initiative, saying, and I quote, "I commend the Republic of Rwanda's deployment of 1,000 RDF and Rwanda National Police members to Cabo Delgado at the request of the government of Mozambique as a strong and concrete act of African solidarity to support a fellow member state to fight terrorism and insecurity." According to the statement from the government of Rwanda, the deployment of 1,000-person contingent of the Rwanda Defense Force and Rwanda National Police to Cabo Delgado province came at the request of the government of Mozambique. The joint force will work closely with the Mozambique Armed Defense Force (FADM) and forces from the Southern African Development Community (SADC) in designated sectors of responsibility. Reporting for RTV News, Ethan Tashobia.